Now, some reports show that for African Americans, we spend more of our earnings dealing with credit interest than any other groups. How did black folks get into this situation where we're spending exorbitant amounts of money? We're dealing with 16, 17, 18, 19% interest rates.
Right. You know, the thing about that is so frustrating is that because many of those people do not have to pay those rates, the lenders are predatory on them. And there have been studies that showed that there are African Americans who go to a car dealership, would qualify for A credit, but are told that their credit isn't good enough to get the best rates. That's what happened in the housing market. Many of the blacks who got those subprime loans could have qualified for an A credit loan. They just didn't know. And so, you know, the best thing we can tell people who are listening or watching is that they need to know their credit. You need to know your credit score. I mean, it happened to me, if you can imagine. I pay cash for my cars, but in this case, I was buying a car and I was using a loan just for a couple years because I pay them off early. And I went into, and I was looking kind of bummy because when I'm, you know, on the weekend, I'm not looking like this. And the guy went back and he pulled my thing, and I had already set up my credit with the credit union. I knew what I was going to get, and it was like 5%, 4%, something, you know. Great. He came back, oh, Mrs., you know, my married name, we're going to offer you, I think he said like 12 or 15%. And my husband. Now, you had already gotten pre-approved from the credit union? That's right. So you had an interest rate already locked in. Already locked in. They already pulled your credit, so you knew what you qualified for. I knew, and I did it just as an experiment to see. Now, my husband was sitting next to me, and I'm the bad guy in these kind of relationships, and he did like this. He sort of put his arm across me because he knew I was about to jump over that table. He was like, babe, you know, because, and I said, why are you offering me that? That's awfully high. That's awfully high. And he said, well, we think there are some issues with your credit. And I said, well, thank you very much. I will not be taking your loan. I knew. And so had I not known, I would have thought he was doing me a favor. So I could have even bought the car from there because you knew that's where you knew where that scam is. Because first of all, you're right. Years ago when I worked in Fort Worth, the company had a credit union. And the company knew how much I got paid. Right. I put money in the credit union every month. And so I was pre-approved for that car loan. And same thing. Walked in. I said, no, don't even talk to me about what you guys are doing. I already have the loan. Right. So to combat this system, one of your examples is, look, recognize that you have other credit options, and a credit union is a great place to get an account to get, frankly, qualify for a cheaper loan. Absolutely. You've got to shop around credit unions, and actually you still could play them against each other, your own local bank. But the key is knowledge. You have to know where you stand. And when you go in, I negotiate my cars. I negotiate the price of the car separately. I never turn in a car. I never have turned in a used car. I actually fix the cars up and give it to relatives. So there's that. That's not even on the table. Now, when you say turn in a used car for the person who's listening, what happens is you still owe on that car. And let's say you owe $10,000, they're taking the car you still pay all the interest on and rolling that $10,000 into the new amount. So the car is $20, now it's $30. That's right. Now the interest is now going to be on a $30,000 loan. That's right, and it's going to be higher. And you're a fool if you do that. If you're at the dealership and you have a car and you're going to trade it in with some debt on it, you are a fool. That's right, a fool. I will come to your house and tell you in your face that you are a fool. You need to keep that car. If it's a hoopty, so what? Put some Band-Aids, put some duct tape around the mirrors, and keep driving it. This is the thing. Don't let them take advantage of us. And they will take advantage of you. They'll take advantage of you if you've got good credit. They'll take advantage of you if you have bad credit. If you have bad credit, you still don't need to pay 30%. You can still get a decent interest rate if you negotiate and you know, because that's pure profit for them. Pure profit. But as you were saying, I don't trade in cars because I don't even want to deal with that. And I negotiate separately for the price of the car. One time I had a stack of research. Just think the guy who was selling me the car said, can I get a copy of that? Because I know what I'm doing.